Hey, what's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be going over my script for my personal budget project. Basically, the script is 7 questions that the project is asking me to answer about how I feel and stuff like that after completing my budget for the last 3 months. So first, here I'll show you my budget. Okay, and then now I'll go over the 7 questions with my responses to them. So first question, how do you feel now that you have done your budget? What are 3 things that you learned from the budgeting project? So what I said was, 1, I feel more confident after doing my budget, now that I know exactly how much I'm spending without guessing, which is true. The 3 main things that I learned are that 1, I should take extra advantage of the time in my life that my parents still support me to save up money, as it makes it much easier having parents support me to save up money because I don't have extra expenses that I'm spending the money that I make on. I learned that it's easy to miscalculate how much you're spending if you just estimate and don't track your expenses, right? If you're doing it in your head, it's really easy to forget and, underestimate how much you're spending. So, and then lastly, I learned that I'm just a lot happier in general when I'm on top of my budget, staying within it, staying organized, because it's just a lot less stress on me. And then the next question is, what is your biggest expense category? What surprised you about how much you spend money? My biggest expense category is housing by far. About, let's see, housing costs about $560 a month. But luckily my parents cover that. So yeah. What surprised me most about how I spend is how much money I spend on fast food. I was spending more than I thought, partly because I guess I was paying for other people sometimes. And the extra fees add up a lot, like the price you see, you end up paying more. And I'm also surprised at the consistency of how much I spend per month. Like each month, my total expenses in total, they ended up being within $100. So the third question is, do you have a surplus or a deficit? Are there any changes that you will make to improve your cash flow? If so, what are they? How will you make those changes? Over the 3 months, I remained in a surplus. I think overall, I'm doing decently at maintaining a surplus. The main change I would like to do is cut my spending on fast food pretty much in half. I would say I think if I cut it in half, I'd feel happy about spending that much. And another change, which I have began doing, but I want to be doing more, but I want to start doing more, is carpooling, save money on gas. So, and then on to the fourth question. The fourth question is, think about your family and community in general. Do they live on a budget? Do they track their expenses? What kind of healthy and unhealthy financial behaviors do you see? Among my family and parents and my sisters, okay, I'm sorry, not sisters. Among my family and my parents and my sister, sorry, I kind of butchered that. Among my family, my parents and my sister do maintain a budget, loosely at the least, meaning that they do maintain a budget, not like they're always, perfectly on top of every expense, but they have always at least loosely maintained a budget. I would say my parents did a decent job at setting good examples for healthy financial behavior for the most part. It is common to see some dumb spending behaviors like among my friends, peers, stuff like that. For example, would be gambling, like sports betting, risking going into a deficit, stuff like that. Question number 5. How do you impact the society around you by living on a budget? And what if you don't? And I said, you can impact the immediate society around you, like your family and friends, in a positive manner by living on a budget. You support them with stability, and you are someone they can always rely on, as you are smart and ready for the worst. By not being on a budget, you potentially make yourself unavailable to help the ones you love in a time they may need because you're too busy getting out of debt or something like that. So, question number 6. How would you help a friend set up their budget and live by it? I would motivate my friend by telling them the possibilities of what they could do with the money they saved from a surplus each month in their budget. Basically, telling them they could get rich with that money over time. Then I would advise them to download a simple budgeting app or spreadsheet, something like that, where they can easily keep their budget. And then finally, I would encourage them to make a habit of pulling out their phone and logging every expense plus their income that they pay in the app the moment they pay. But emphasize the expenses every time. Pull out the front every time they take an expense and log that expense in the app the moment they pay to stick to it. And then question number 7, looking at your pay stubs from work. How much did you pay in taxes? How did that impact your budget? Based on your personal experiences and information from the course, discuss how taxes influence society in both good and bad ways. From the 3 months added up, I paid roughly $590 in taxes out of my paychecks. From what I know, taxes are good because they fund public services in our country, like public schools and roads. And another good thing taxes can do is incentivize less harmful behavior within society. Some bad things about taxes is sometimes how they are implemented, like low-income individuals getting larger portions of their income taken compared to higher-income individuals, which doesn't make sense in my opinion. But those were the 7 questions, and those are my responses, and that's my script for my personal budget. Thank you.